The rivalry between Paddy Pimblett and Don Hooker has captured the attention of the entire MMA world. What initially seemed like a standard exchange of playful trash talk escalated into one of the most intense feuds in recent history. Paddy, known for his biting sense of humor, made a controversial joke online that completely misfired. Hooker's reaction was swift, sharp, and unmistakably serious. There was no room for misinterpretation. This was personal, and the tension was palpable. Arman Tsarukyan, who had been observing the situation quietly, couldn't help but weigh in. For the first time, social media wasn't just a platform for fans, it had become a battleground for professional pride, reputation, and personal grudges. The situation intensified when Paddy decided to mock Hooker's grappling skills publicly. This move, seemingly trivial to outsiders, was a direct challenge in the MMA community, where skill and respect go hand in hand. The online community exploded. Fans immediately split into two camps, those defending Paddy's right to speak freely, and those supporting Hooker's stance that some things are off. Social media became flooded with memes, commentary, and debate threads that ran late into the night. Even major MMA analysts weighed in, discussing how this rivalry could impact upcoming matchups and potentially affect rankings. Hooker responded with unmatched ferocity, making it clear that any prior banter or playful exchange was over. His words were a direct signal that this feud had escalated beyond public theatrics. Fans and analysts alike noticed an important contradiction in Paddy's behavior. Just weeks prior, he had refused to comment on sensitive family issues involving Ilia Topuria, emphasizing that family matters were sacred and off. Paddy had publicly wished Topuria well, reinforcing his image as a fighter who values respect. Yet now, in his feud with Hooker, he seemed to abandon those principles, creating a public perception of hypocrisy. This only fueled the tension, making fans question where he truly stood. The feud became even more charged when Hooker referenced Ricky, a close friend of Paddy who had tragically passed away in 2022. This revelation stunned fans and added a deeply personal layer to the ongoing conflict. Paddy's immediate reaction was defensive. He accused Hooker of crossing a line and weaponizing someone's death in a public dispute. The emotional intensity of this exchange made the rivalry one of the most talked about stories in MMA history. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions ranging from outrage to sympathy, and the story quickly dominated headlines. Amid the chaos, Arman Tsarukyan maintained a calm and detached perspective. To him, both fighters were highly skilled, and their online spat was just noise compared to the stakes of actual fights in the UFC. Tsarukyan questioned Paddy's grappling abilities, suggesting that while his striking was undeniably elite, he rarely faced opponents who could push him to his limits on the mat. This subtle critique added fuel to the fire, challenging Paddy to prove himself and providing fans with yet another talking point. Paddy, never one to shy away from controversy, responded with sarcasm, asserting that his focus has always been on the octagon, where actions speak louder than words. Meanwhile, the MMA world learned why Arman pulled out of a fight with Islam Makhachev. He had suffered a hernia, a legitimate medical reason, yet fans were quick to criticize him for perceived lack of toughness. This incident highlighted just how unforgiving the MMA community can be, even toward elite fighters. Arman emphasized that a brutal weight cut without a confirmed fight offer could jeopardize his long-term career and overall health. Paddy capitalized on the criticism, pointing out Arman's history of last-minute withdrawals and weigh-in controversies, emphasizing that professionalism and reliability are as crucial as skill in the UFC. Training and preparation have become central to this saga, particularly for Justin Gaethje, who has been quietly refining his game. Under coach Trevor Wittman, Gaethje has developed an aggressive, high-pressure grappling strategy designed to dominate opponents from the start. His approach isn't merely defensive. He's working to control every aspect of the fight, dictating pace, positioning, and engagement. Analysts suggest that Paddy, despite his grappling credentials, could find himself at a disadvantage against Gaethje's precise and relentless strategy. Gaethje's preparation demonstrates a level of discipline and foresight that few fighters match, making him a formidable opponent in upcoming matchups. Paddy, however, is brimming with confidence. He insists that he sees weaknesses in Gaethje's style that he can exploit, and his team has been training intensely to capitalize on them. Luke Riley and Coach Ellis have simulated Gaethje's movements during practice, giving Paddy the tools to anticipate his opponent's strategies. Paddy even claims his teammate Luke is a more complete striker than Gaethje himself, citing years of Muay Thai training and advanced technical skills. Paddy's confidence is not baseless. He has a long history of adapting reading opponents' strategies, and exploiting openings that others overlook. Meanwhile, the broader UFC landscape is rife with speculation and predictions. Michael Bisping has publicly stated that Ilia Topuria is likely to dominate through 2026, facing little threat from current contenders. While Arman Tsarukyan is viewed as a dark horse capable of upsets, Bisping does not foresee a matchup with Topuria anytime soon, leaving the champion largely unchallenged. Trevor Wittman frames UFC 324 as Gaethje's defining moment, a decisive step toward a title. This isn't about money fights or fleeting fame. It's a calculated, high-stakes effort to claim championship glory while protecting long-term health and career longevity. Even MMA legends like Chuck Liddell have joined the conversation, weighing in on the upcoming fights and the Paddy-Gassi matchup. Liddell acknowledges the challenges Paddy will face, suggesting that Gassi's relentless style and technical precision could create a high vitriol finish if Paddy underestimates him. Fan communities have exploded with predictions, debates, and speculative strategies. Every post, every comment, every new training update fuels the ongoing drama, reinforcing the idea that the UFC world is as much about psychological warfare as physical combat. The mental game cannot be understated. Fighters are constantly analyzing opponents' strengths, weaknesses, and behavioral patterns. Social media posts, interviews, and even casual comments are scrutinized for insight into mindset and strategy. This psychological layer adds tension and intrigue, keeping fans engaged in ways that go beyond the physical fight. Every statement can motivate or unsettle an opponent, and this constant mental chess is a critical component of high-level competition. The stakes are immense. Every match, every comment, every training session carries consequences. Between feuds, training camps, and professional responsibilities, MMA fighters operate under extraordinary pressure. This high-stakes environment pushes athletes to their limits, forcing them to master not just fighting techniques but strategic thinking, media handling, and mental resilience. For fans, the drama is irresistible, a combination of elite athletic performance, personal rivalry, and raw emotion that keeps viewers glued to screens, eager for every update and development. As the feud develops, the personalities of the fighters themselves add another layer. Paddy Pimblett's confidence borders on arrogance, yet it is rooted in a history of success and careful preparation. His striking, honed through years of Muay Thai, is precise and punishing, while his grappling is competent enough to defend against elite wrestlers. Dan Hooker, by contrast, balances experience with intensity, a fighter unafraid to speak his mind and back it up in the octagon. His ability to adapt mid-fight and respond to evolving situations makes him a formidable adversary, one whose psychological resilience is as noteworthy as his physical skill. The media's role cannot be ignored. Every fight preview, social media post, and analyst commentary shapes public perception, influences betting odds, and pressures fighters to maintain a certain image. The interplay between public expectation and personal performance adds another layer of complexity to each matchup. In this environment, a single misstep can amplify controversy, while a well-timed move both in strategy and in words can solidify a fighter's reputation. Fans themselves play a critical role in escalating the drama. Social media platforms act as echo chambers, amplifying outrage, humor, and speculation. Viral moments, memes, and heated discussions create a feedback loop that intensifies rivalries. The Paddy Hooker feud demonstrates how modern MMA is not just about combat, it's about narrative, perception, and influence. Fighters must navigate not only physical opponents, but also a complex web of public expectation, fan allegiance, and media scrutiny. Looking ahead, the upcoming fights are more than competitions. They are chapters in a larger story that fans are watching unfold in real. Training footage, pre-fight interviews, and post-fight reactions all contribute to the narrative, making each moment significant. Analysts project that Gassi's strategic approach could force Paddy to adapt in ways he has never done before, testing his skill, endurance, and mental fortitude. This is a battle of preparation, adaptability, and psychological resilience, with consequences that extend far beyond the octagon. The story of Paddy Pimblett versus Dan Hooker, intertwined with Justin Gassi's rising prominence, Arman Tsarukyan's quiet competence, and Ilia Tapuria's dominance, represents a microcosm of modern MMA, a mix of athletic excellence, strategic brilliance, personal rivalry, and high-stakes drama. Every twist, every verbal exchange, and every tactical adjustment matters. Fans remain on edge, eager to witness who will triumph in a world where skill alone is never enough. The octagon is a stage, but the battles leading up to it, both mental and emotional, are just as gripping, and perhaps even more consequential.